There are many tools in the filmmaker's kit to direct our attention and isolate points of interest. Composition, lighting, costume, color, and perhaps most importantly of all, focus. It's so natural for our attention to be directed in this way that strange things can happen when a filmmaker consciously decides to direct our attention to two things at the same time. Welcome to the unnatural world of the split field diopter. This previous shot was achieved using a split diopter from CinePack. And here's a standard diopter. It's really just a lens. In fact, the word diopter is not technically correct, but it has become the standard terminology. For filmmakers, the most common use of a diopter is as a close-up lens. It increases the close focus capability of a lens, allowing you to frame in beyond the native minimum focus and, if you need to, get ultra close. A split field diopter is literally a diopter cut in half, which allows a lens to focus both near and far on different sides of the frame, or the field. But if you want to see things both near and far, why not simply deepen your focus? The problem with that is now you see everything. You aren't directed anymore. Plus, that costs a lot of light. The reason you're focused on my face right now is because the sharpness here contrasts with the blurring of the out of focus areas. It also feels natural and intuitive because it's what the lenses in our eyes do. What the split diopter does is maintain that narrow plane of focus, preserving the out of focus areas and prompting our brain to draw its attention to a particular area. But when there's two of those areas, our attention, like the lens itself, is split. And that feels a bit strange.
You could take care of. One, I've got some cats parking in front of the house. I can't get down to the office, and that garbage truck next to the office.
That was a scene from Spielberg's genre-creating blockbuster and master of the rising tension, Jaws. Your attention is being pulled both ways, and it's hard to reconcile the split, and we feel anxious. But the effect is subtle, and you can't immediately put your finger on it. There's no rising tension in this scene. The score is silent. There are no stabbing violins. We're meant to be disconcerted, not terrified. Something just feels a bit off. So when the scream does come, it's still a shock.
Get down to the office and...
Now, you might have noticed this blurred seam that occurs with the split diopter, a consequence of having literally a piece of glass half in front of your lens. And like all technical accidents and imperfections, filmmakers both hide it and use it. Keeping the seam in provides this dreamlike quality, like here in Blowout, as utilized by a champion of the split field diopter, Brian De Palma. If you want something more discreet, it can be seamlessly hidden, like this other split diopter example from Jaws, where the seam is masked by conveniently placed pipework. In Mission Impossible, the illusion of physical proximity is used to heighten the tension in relation to our hero's risk of detection. Aside from the psychological implications, it's just a very different aesthetic that can help stamp a unique impression into a film. At its best, it exploits the frame of reference through which we are viewing the filmed world to amplify emotion and maximize immersion. And that, after all, is what film is all about. Split field diopters have not been tools for indie and low budget filmmakers though. They usually come in 4.5-inch frames or larger, which require a lot of support gear. I made my own set of split diopters a while ago, cutting through regular diopters, and that was a tough one. Now look at these split diopters from CinePack. These are brilliant in many ways. First of all, this finger support helps you quickly position the filter to find the placement you need. And if you're doing a quick shot, that's enough. Besides that, you can lock them into position, use the 1/4-inch 20 hole on the handle. One of the biggest advantages of this format is the split doesn't have to be placed on the very center of the frame. I showed you a bunch of examples from film. Now here's some of the more artistic, music video footage shot by folks using these split diopters. This is a really special effect, and it would be a pain to recreate in post. Notice how bokeh becomes super pronounced on the out of focus areas, and you can create a very unique look. CinePack sells them individually for $60 each, or a set with 3 different powers for $130. These are +1, +2, and +3, and if you want to understand more of what diopters do, I've covered that in multiple videos. TLDR, higher numbers allow you to focus closer, and +1 is already plenty close. The last thing to remember is that the convex side of the diopter must be pointing out towards your subject. If you orient it backwards, it might still look okay, but I assure you performance will take a hit. I gotta thank the folks at CinePack for sending me these, and I look forward to continue using them as my previous experiment came out less than perfect. Split field diopters are a tool I want to explore more, but they've always been too cumbersome before. What do you think of split diopters? Is your mind also spiraling into all the cool new things that you can do on an anamorphic widescreen frame? Mine surely is. Share your ideas in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe before you head out if you want to learn more about anamorphics, obscure lens information, and other niche cinematography subjects. I hope you enjoyed our time together, and I'll see you soon. Chito Verhellings, out.